name is Kenya Rogers, and I'm running for Executive Director of External Relations. I'm running with Involve UVic, and I'm a second-year political science and Spanish student. Last year, or this past year, I've been on the board as a director at large, and I was really fortunate to be really involved with campaigns committee and working with Greg really closely on different campaigns such as Let's Get Consensual, the municipal elections, and also working towards getting needs-based grants and doing advocacy around that sort of thing. It was a really nice opportunity to get a taste of what that is like, and it really got me interested in furthering those pursuits. And so yeah, that's why I decided to run. A huge point of my platform, again, under the umbrella of student wellness, is working on lobbying the government for needs-based grants, lowering interest rates on loans and things like that. And also in terms of like post-secondary issues and lobbying efforts, continuing our work, currently in our ABCS lobby document, continuing our work for adult basic education and ESL, like huge cuts to those programs from the government, and Camosun's right down the street from us, and those issues really affect Camosun, and I think that we have a partnership there, and we need to be able to support them in those endeavors and things like that. Another thing under the realm of post-secondary education and lobbying is affordable childcare on campus. And again, working with the UVic childcare program. What are their needs? What are their wants? How can we as a UVSS help? There's huge wait lists. And so how are we making that accessible for students who need to access those resources? That's really important to me. We already passed a motion with the board to support $10 a day childcare, so I'm really excited to advance that and do advocacy around that. And so that's another thing I'm really passionate about. I've been involved with the Let's Get Consensual campaign. I think it was one of the best run campaigns here on campus. And, we had such a presence at all of these events. It was amazing. It was really well done. And I think that we now have enough of a strong base of how that campaign works and how we want to be involved in it, that we can spread that to the greater Victoria community. And I would really like to also see that some partnerships with other universities and other student societies. And we've already got some connections there with My Slate and connections that we have with incoming boards at other universities such as U of A, UBCO. And so I think that we could grow that through different universities, interprovince, all of that, which I think would be really amazing and I'm really, really passionate about. I think something that I bring to the table is the fact that I already have a lot of institutional knowledge about the UVSS, and I have already been involved in so many campaigns. And I think that that sets me apart from perhaps other folks who come into the board not having ever experienced what it's like to be on the board, not understanding the full realm of resources that we have as being part of this board. And so I think that that's definitely one thing that makes me the best person for this position. But also I've had opportunities to make a lot of connections already with our student community, with advocacy groups, by being involved in different events such as Take Back the Night with the Women's Center and helping out with the Memorial March and doing different things that we're starting to bridge those gaps between advocacy groups. And I think that that is what's going to make the board stronger. And so I think that those connections that I already have are another thing that sort of set me apart. I chose to run with Involve because we're a group of individuals that all bring really important issues to the forefront and that all agree that university should be a place that is accessible, that's affordable, that's inclusive, and that is a safer space for everybody. Those are things that I genuinely value. I think that's how students are going to have success, is when they feel included and when they feel involved. And so that's why I decided to run with Involve, and honestly, such an amazing team, and I've been really fortunate to work with those folks. So I think all of the referendum questions are really, really important. I think the divest question, I think that when we see students who are working together over issues that they're passionate about, I think us as a UVSS, we need to support those positive changes. And so I think it's a great referendum question. SOC does absolutely amazing work here on campus, and it's such necessary work, to bring awareness to the context in which we all work in, and the ways in which we still need to work to, have anti-oppressive frameworks in everything that we do. And I think that that's so important. And then I've actually been really fortunate through the campaigns committee to be project lead on the food bank and campus community gardens, in terms of the board and campaigns on their referendums. And I actually put forth the motion for the food bank referendum at our board meeting. So I'm really passionate about those two campaigns. I think that the food bank does absolutely amazing work. There's almost over 4,000 users a year. So that really is telling of the nature of the burden of student debt, and the nature of just how stressful university generally can be. And I think that they really are working so hard to make that space as safe, as inclusive, and as accessible as they possibly can. And allocating more resources to them is going to make that an even better and easier endeavor for them. And then campus community gardens, they also do amazing work on campus. They're big supporters of the food bank. They have a plot just for the food bank. And one of the things that we, as a slate, have really talked about is food security, and how important that is to student wellness. Being able to know you can nourish yourself, and you can have healthy food, and you can be prepared for day-to-day situations. Being able to nourish yourself is huge. And so I think that their work is so important, and I fully support all of the referendum questions. I think that if there was one thing that I could change, it would be seeing successful, progressive student involvement in what the UVSS is doing. Because I truly believe that when we start bridging that gap between our campus community and the work that we're doing here in the Student Union building and outside, that's when we really start to have a voice. That's when we start to make student advocacy matter and be out there and important. And especially, in the position of Director of External Relations, that's what we want. We want to find the passions on campus. We want to be able to fuel them, to support them, to lift them up, and to make positive and lasting change for students.